When it comes to the 2025 championship conversation, three teams are in a league of their own. Can you guess who they are? If your picks are the Cavaliers, Celtics, and Thunder, you're absolutely spot on. I mean, the defending champion Celtics seem to be destroying teams while cruise controlling as if they're saving their full strength for the playoffs.
Tatum in the front court, drives past Green, layup, banks it in. Tatum first with a pass, then with a bucket.
The Cavaliers and Thunder, on the other hand, are becoming legendary. Both teams currently rank among the top 10 in NBA history by winning percentage so far this season. And it's absolutely insane how these three teams have been steamrolling through their competition. Everything, however, could change very soon. Remember Rasheed Wallace joining the Pistons in 2004? Or Pau Gasol heading to the Lakers in 2008? Or Marc Gasol's move to the Raptors in 2019? Each of these trades didn't just shake up the league, they redefined the NBA's landscape.
Backs in, spins, fakes, shot, it's good! Gasol got it to go!
The 2025 trade deadline is shaping up to have the same potential to flip the association upside down. Big names like Jimmy Butler, Zion Williamson, and Jonathan Kuminga are just the beginning of the potential blockbuster moves this February deadline could bring. And in today's video, I'll break down every major trade rumor circulating in the NBA, from the questionable ones to the absolute game changers.
Jimmy Butler says straight up and down he does not want to be
I knew that was coming.
in Miami anymore.
I recently stumbled upon an article titled, "One Trade Every NBA Team Should Propose Right Now." And after reading through it, one thing became abundantly clear. The author seems to have some serious, deep-rooted hatred for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, here are two wild trades this guy is suggesting. First, a trade for LeBron James, who's pushing 40, doesn't play defense anymore, and has a reputation for throwing his teammates under the bus when things aren't going well. And yet, this guy thinks the Warriors should give up both of their star-caliber wings, a sharpshooter, the young glove, and a first-round pick for him. Then, as if one ridiculous trade wasn't enough, he proposes nearly the same thing for Jimmy Butler. Both of these trades would probably decimate the Warriors franchise for years to come. So when I saw these proposals, I couldn't help but think, who comes up with this stuff? Naturally, I looked into the writer, and suddenly, it all made sense. The Warriors are currently a 50-50 team, sitting on a record that ties them for the final play-in spot. Not too long ago, they suffered a historic beating at the hands of the Celtics, a loss so lopsided it became their worst home defeat in 40 years. This clip of Steve Kerr perfectly captures how Dub Nation feels right now in the eyes of the rest of the league, a team that should be ignored. But all of that could change very quickly.
And in my lifetime, there are three guys that you can't stop in the paint. And I mean, in the history of this damn league, one is Giannis, the other is Shaq, and the other is, that's right, Zion Williamson.
I recently made a video on Zion Williamson and how he's part of the reason why the NBA sucks. The focus was on his unprofessional off-court habits that are clearly impacting his ability to remain healthy and available on the court. But let's be honest, sometimes all it takes to turn things around is a change of scenery. And if there's one organization that could help Zion reach his potential, it's Golden State, as long as Steph Curry is still there. Some might argue Miami would be a better fit, but seriously, come on. Can you imagine Pat Riley, the NBA's godfather, sitting in the same room as Zion when he's overweight and late to practice? The Heat's president might seriously be charged for manslaughter if Zion ever got traded there. There's already quite a bit of buzz online about this Warriors-Zion trade idea. And if I were making the deal, I'd center it around either Draymond Green or Andrew Wiggins, include some filler players to match salaries, and throw in a few first-round picks. Now, I get it. Some people will say this is the dumbest trade idea ever, and honestly, I had similar thoughts at first too. But at this point, you've got to ask yourself, what's the risk? The Warriors are only a few more losses away from potentially entering the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. But with this trade, it could immediately catapult them back into championship contention. If the chef could inspire Zion to shed some extra weight, stay healthy, and tap into his Mamba-like mentality, the Warriors would have the ultimate combination: an unstoppable force on the inside and a human torch on the outside. Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley have been at odds lately, and what once seemed like a thriving partnership now feels like something straight out of a Kardashian sitcom. According to reports, during a recent heated team interview, no pun intended, Jimmy told 79-year-old Riley to lace him up and guard me. It's becoming increasingly clear that Jimmy Butler's time in Miami is coming to an end, and I'd honestly be really surprised if the Heat don't move him by the trade deadline. The big question now is, which team will he land on?
He's an idiot. Jimmy's an idiot. Where's Jimmy? You're an idiot. Wow. You're an idiot.
Lately, there's been a lot of buzz about a potential Kevin Durant-Jimmy Butler duo in Phoenix, and here's my take on it. This is exactly what Phoenix needs: some toughness. Kevin Durant is arguably one of the most unstoppable scorers in the league, and Devin Booker, while not on the same level, is a lethal scorer as well. Neither of them, however, are leaders, and that's where Jimmy Butler comes in. The man turned Tyler Hero into the player he is today and helped develop several undrafted players into serviceable contributors who secure big contracts. If Jimmy can bring that same leadership to Phoenix and inspire the rest of the Suns roster, the team could immediately reestablish itself from a joke into a contender.
Some rumors, man. Allegedly, Brad Beal is willing to open to go to Milwaukee, waive that no-trade clause.
There's been a lot of buzz about Bradley Beal potentially heading to Milwaukee and Chris Middleton on his way out, and as a Warriors fan, I'm all for that. I mean, let's be real. This trade would probably wreck the Bucks and might even push Giannis to want out of the organization. And let's not forget, Giannis has always said he wants to play with Steph Curry.
Hey, man.
Now, this isn't meant to throw shade at Bradley Beal, but the truth is, Milwaukee already has a ball-dominant star-level guard in Damian Lillard. Why would they add another one? Then when you compare Beal and Middleton's stats, they're very similar. But here's the kicker. Beal is making nearly $20 million more per year. He's locked into a longer contract, and he's shorter. Usually, unless you're Steph Curry, being a shorter player doesn't usually translate well for longevity.
If he want to go to Milwaukee, I think it's a good trade for Milwaukee. Another scorer, capable player.
Jeff Teague might think this is a good trade for the Bucks, but to me, it's got disaster written all over it. That said, as a Warriors fan, I fully support it. Another team looking to transform itself into a powerhouse is none other than the Los Angeles Lakers. Reports are swirling that LeBron James and Anthony Davis believe the Lakers are a piece or two away from truly contending for a championship, and they want the front office to make a move. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little nervous about this team, and let me explain why. I've scoured the internet far and wide for hours and hours on end, from Reddit threads to Bleacher Report articles to YouTube comment sections. You name it, I've been digging through every trade rumor out there to bring you all this video. And when it comes to the Lakers and who they might be targeting, what I found is honestly terrifying. And no, I'm not talking about Zach LaVine. I'm not talking about Trae Young. And I'm definitely not talking about Bradley Beal. because the truth is, there are one or two others out there who could make the Lakers completely unstoppable. I'm talking about these guys. The wild part is, this isn't entirely a joke. On a more serious note, I'm not sure why the Lakers haven't gone all in on pursuing Trae Young yet, because he's exactly what they need. He's currently stuck on a team that's going nowhere, and his skill set would complement Anthony Davis and LeBron James perfectly. Then, to top it all off, Trae's showmanship is pure box office entertainment. While I'm not saying this trade would instantly make the Lakers title favorites, adding him would undoubtedly make them a much more exciting and dangerous team to watch. NBA trades can be a minefield. Sometimes you think you're making a move that will elevate your team, but instead you end up completely dismantling it. Kind of like how Matt Lloyd recently pulled off what might be the worst trade I've seen in 20 years of watching the NBA. The Timberwolves were a team on the rise. They had just taken down the defending champions in a best-of-7 series, only to turn around and trade arguably their best player. And as a result, they've reverted to what they've been for the past 2 decades, a complete joke. So while there are plenty of moves teams could make this trade deadline, many organizations are cautious. A hasty decision can haunt their franchise for years. Take the Pelicans drafting Zion Williamson, for example. I know it wasn't a trade, but what they thought was a franchise-defining decision has turned out to be their biggest curse over the past half-decade. If you're wondering exactly what I mean, click right here where I break it all down for you.